Bible.
The East is where we're from. The 12 tribes of Israel. In 721 BC, the Assyrian king, he took us down, we fell. With a great escape we went through the Euphrates. The Lord held the water still. To a land where no mankind dwelt, we went. The 12 tribes of Israel. That's who we be. Manasseh, the Cubans.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
From Puerto Rico, and Valley from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Zebulon from Panama, Gad, the North American Indians. Simeon, the Dominicans.
Come on.
The highest gathering Israel. The Arabs and Africans told us.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. I'm Elder Rawchaa of the Gathering of Christ Church, here with our weekly Patreon update. We usually come on with to speak to our YouTube viewers before transitioning over to Patreon. First and foremost, I would like to say all praises be to the Most High, Ahaya Bahashim Yeshaya Wa Rawchaa, the God of Israel. And I would like to say blessings throughout the four corners of the earth to the Jew first, we Israelites, and also to the Gentiles in Christ. How are you going into the Sabbath? Right? I hope you all are well. We're segueing into Patreon. I'm going to show you a few things we'll be going over, but before I do that, let me make the grand announcement that we're 3 days out from our Hebrew and Bible Academy week 1. Okay? We are 3 days out, so if this interests you, please go to historytimes.org to enroll. It's only $150 for 3 months, every Sunday from 9 a.m. to around 2 to 3 p.m. More information in one class than you'll receive in any class, religious or otherwise. With one lesson, we guarantee it. Elder Lawya covers Hebrew 101. It's easier to learn than most people think when it comes to the lettering and understanding the Hebrew, and how close in proximity the language is to the actual English language, believe it or not. And also, after that, subsequent to that, myself and Elder Rawchaa, who just left from Ghana, okay? All praises be to the Most High. He covers the news. He go out and find different articles, information that's usually what we as those who are looking at the prophecy should be focusing on, so that we can actually view the news as it was intended according to prophecy and not according to the propagandized news programs we have in this world today. Misdirection, propaganda, programming. So that news segment that Rawchaa and I does it's not like any other. And then after that, we go into the lesson. Okay. This week, we'll be covering the creation of the universe to show people, brothers and sisters out there, beyond any shadow of a doubt, how the earth was created and who created the heavens and the earth, and totally slam all the evolution lies that have been placed out there concerning on how the universe began. Okay, they talk about a Big Bang, but without telling people who was responsible for the Big Bang. Another thing they don't tell us is that there was a war. There was a Big Bang where spirits were moved from the heavenly realm into this one. Okay, that's right. When the earth had darkness, okay, and was void. So the Big Bang isn't something that happened 1 trillion years ago. It's from a war that I'm going to discuss. And from that war, a firmament was placed around that darkness, bringing forth a new creation called earth. Okay. And then the Most High made the image of God on earth, from the earth, with the spirit of the Almighty from the heavens, to one day judge the darkness, who was here before man was created. That's right. I'm going to talk about that and more. And guess what, folks? They were here before man and they're still here. Okay, so I'm going to be going into that and more. And I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about principalities and powers, the evildoers that Christ revealed and had us understand who the real war is against. The real war isn't against white people or someone because of color. Folks, we're not getting oppressed. Our people are not being oppressed because we're black. We're under oppression because the whole earth knows, and the powers who control them understands that we are the image of God. We are the children of Israel. That's why we're oppressed all over the earth. That's why they deem us a threat, knowing the prophecies of our people one day ruling. One day we'll rule again, and all the nations are mourning that reality and have set up systems to keep the children of Israel, or the prophecy of our people ruling over the earth, suppressed. Okay, so you're not under some type of affliction or because the white man has a problem with the black man. That's elementary, folks. That's low level. We wrestle not with flesh and blood. And I'm gonna go into that and creation of the universe to show people what's really going on, who's really ruling. And I'll let you know the majority of your politicians are nothing more. They're nothing less than soldiers. They're nothing but soldiers, folks. Used by the elite, the unseen. Okay? Now, so I'm going to be going into that and more in the Hebrew and Bible Academy. First week, we'll be dealing with creation of the universe. Second week, we'll be going into tracing the serpent seed. Okay? Third week, I'll cover in depth the modern day Adam, Eve, and the serpent. Okay? To show everyone, folks, that there's nothing new under the sun, and our sister, our mother Eve, was deceived. Why? Because Satan appeared as an angel of light. Okay? Bells and whistles, propaganda. Look over here. Look how beautiful I am. And yeah, all of that. I'm going into that to show you how they created a system that would do the same illusions on a global scale to keep man oppressed. Okay? The modern day Adam, Eve, and the serpent. Okay? The system, what they use as the serpent. A woman when she's not in the spirit of our mother Sarah, but Eve, who has wanton eyes and would follow the bells and whistles or the window dressing. And Adam, when he's not acting in his true spirit as a man, but a simp. That's right. The modern day Adam, Eve, and the serpent. Week 3 of the Hebrew and Bible Academy. And then after that, I'll go into who is Edom, week 4. Week 5, we'll cover the split between Israel and Judah to show how our people were scattered throughout the 4 corners of the earth. On top of that, the Israelites in the wilderness. What happened when the Israelites opposed those who the Most High established? We're going to go into that and more, okay, in the academy. And of course, we have the new lessons, portals, how the government of the earth, NASA and others are using CERN to open them, and what spirits are getting released in the earth. And this is why the whole world has gone mad, crazy, because portals were open. And I'm going to go into that, okay? Now, believe it or not, Satan had access to the portals before Christ was crucified, right? That's right. He had access into Hades. He had access to the portals because why? After Adam's fall, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. Okay, we're going to reveal who Satan is. Satan isn't a normal man. Okay, he's an entity. All right, that can appear as a man, and I'm going to be talking about that also. So before Christ was crucified and shut up his power and did what? Relegated Satan to the earthly realm, to the terrestrial realm. After Christ's crucifixion, he went into the earth and took the the keys to hell. Well, the keys open up doors or gates. These are the gates Satan had access and control over before Christ took that power. So he set up NASA, CERN, and other technologies to forcefully open up gates in the earth using technology and science. And I'm going to prove that NASA and the governments of this earth know what we're saying is true. And the Bible reveals this groundbreaking information. Crazies have been loose. Demons have been loose that were bound since the time of Noah. We're going to show you the crazy demons that were released. And this is why the majority of the earth are on psychotropics out there, out of their minds. Because why? Their sins have given these demons access and have driven the world mad. Okay? I'm going to go into that and more in this academy. Portals, the Ark of the Covenant, the lies that the demons, the evildoers, the synagogue of Satans are trying to put out there concerning the Ark of the Covenant, claiming that there was a son by the name of Menelik, the son of Solomon, who went into Ethiopia, had a son through Queen of Sheba, and eventually the Ark of the Covenant was brought into Ethiopia. These are all Catholic-made fables. That whole story came from the Catholics. Okay? There was no Abimelech story of the Ark of the Covenant coming into Ethiopia. That's a lie. And I'm going to prove that. Then they lied and claimed that the Ark of the Covenant was found here in the Americas because the North American Indians, under their burial ground, they had artistry that was shaped like the Ark of the Covenant in some of their art, like the hieroglyphics and other things. They had that here in Ohio. So the so-called devil, the demon, Satan's son, claimed that our British Israelites came into America and brought the Ark of the Covenant into America so that they can hide the fact that the North American Indians who were being slaughtered here try to hide the fact that they were the children of Israel. So instead of saying, well, hold up, if these people know about the Ark of the Covenant and it's in their burial grounds, must they be one of the lost tribes? No. Esau wasn't going to allow that. So he came up with this fantasy, this lie, that there's a chance, could the Ark of the Covenant be in Ohio because the North American Indians have it in their burial ground, showing something similar to the artistry that was back in ancient times during the Assyrian captivity. Instead of connecting the dots, they lied on the Ark of the Covenant. But we are here. We don't expect the devil to tell the truth. We're here to connect the dots for you, okay? What really happened to the Ark of the Covenant, where it is, and when will the Most High reveal it back to our people as the greatest, cleanest weapon on earth? The other thing we're going to talk about in this academy is the global warming scenario, or what they would call climate change, which is really, I'm going to tell you right now, there's nothing wrong with the earth, folks. The earth has enough for everyone. There's no such thing as scarcity because people are using too much. That's a lie. Okay? If you were to roll in Africa, in Egypt, in different places, you can go miles upon miles before going into a city and see open land out there that's open for all people. The earth has enough for all of her children. So I'm going to tell you what they're really doing with this climate change, this energy thing, and all that, claiming that it's because you're using and abusing what the earth provides. It makes you bad or a threat to the earth. No, I'm going to tell you, the whole thing that they're bringing forth is a systematic way to oppress the earth and to extract people eventually. I'm going to be going into that extraction in the academy. I'm going to cover that in the news this Sunday. Okay. That and more. Who is Christ? The true gospel. How? And guess what? Another thing. I'm going to also go into, when we teach who is Christ, I'm going to pinpoint the true mission of Christ. Okay. Like the first mission was to get our people back on board with the commandments of the Bible, including the Gentiles. That's the first mission. is to get people back, all people in the earth, back under the law of Moses. Now, some people might ask, well, what you mean, Elder Rawchaa? The Gentiles shouldn't be under the laws of Moses. No, folks, you can't be further from the truth. Okay? You can't be further from the truth. When the Most High destroyed the earth through the flood, the ancient world, Ham, Shem, and Japheth were on Noah's ark. And they had the true doctrine that was taught to them through Noah. Now, eventually, the sons went off. But all the earth was supposed to be under the law. And this is why the Most High gave the law to Moses, so that one day our people would bring all nations back under the covenant on the ark to be saved like it once was before the flood. So we're going to tell you the true doctrine and how the law of Moses and the law and how to exercise that law according to Christ and how to teach it to the world, not as a form of supremacy over others, all right? As a form of getting the earth right, because doing the law is good. We'll talk about that and more, all right? And I hope to see you all there. Now, some people might ask real quick, hold on, let me take a little swig here. Nice cold water. All right. Now, some people might ask, okay, Elder, so what are we going into on Patreon today? Okay. All right. First and foremost, I'm going to ask Dr. Truman to make a small clip on for the Academy. All right. A small clip, 10 to 15 minutes, to tell brothers and sisters how to detox and what to do herbal wise to bring us down to our optimum weight. Okay. Our optimum weight. Okay. There's a serious weight problem in this earth due to the foods, DoorDash, and all these other things. And there's less exercise than there were when we were coming up, where jobs were more so, physically taxing. Now the majority of jobs, people are sitting down. There's less physicality, and therefore more gyms have opened up. So I'm going to talk to him about putting a video up on how to detox, metal detox, get all the bad stuff off us so that we can reset and begin a regimen with herbs and food as well as exercise to get to our optimal physicality. Because why? They're getting us fat on purpose, just like what? That's right, the farmers do for your Thanksgiving turkey. They know that if you got too much weight on you, you're not exercised, the blood is not circulating right, and your brain cannot operate at its optimum. So it's strategic to have obese, overweight. And it's not to shame people, because I know a lot of people struggle. I have people in my family that struggles with weight and all those things. But you have to understand that was an agenda. They wanted this so that they would have people who could not oppose them when they come physically against the people. So mind, body, and spirit, that's what this church is all about. And above all, that's what we try to instill in the academy. It's not just teaching the scriptures, because the scriptures are taught like no other place in the academy, and you have the records, the references, and everything we have references and everything to back up. A lot of work, detail, and time goes into the lessons we provide for those students in our classes. Okay, so that not only are you listening to us, you have grown to the next level with the literature and research to be able to back up everything you say on the outside of us. Not because Elder Rawchaa said it. Here's the sources. Here's the scriptures. Here's the books. Here's the secular sources. Here's the nation sources who actually corroborate what we're talking about. Just like a school. On top of that, we have news, health, Hebrew, and Q&As. Okay, so that and more. And it starts in 3 days. A lot of you may think that, well, okay, I have to do something Sunday. It's going to be a beautiful day or whatever the case is. And that's understandably so. Well, you don't even have to be there if you have something planned already, because everything has been worked out. With your link after the academy, you'll be able to, after the time between 9 and 2, within 24 hours, if you are in the academy and you're doing something else with your day, you can hit the link and go and view the whole entire academy that you've missed. Okay? At your convenience. Okay? So we've covered that too. Because some people, okay, you get back on the horse Monday, you're working, whatever the case is. So we said, you know what? Why should these people miss out because they can't be there? No, we're going to have links and all that, even though everything is private and there's a lot of people working behind the scenes to make sure this stuff is protected. But at least you'll be able to review it in your own time. So you don't have to worry about that either. We've covered that. Because getting the information, being able to put it all together is pertinent, more important. And if we have to go the extra yard with the extra expense to make sure you still receive the information, it's worth it. On top of that, even though it's a cost because we made it where you couldn't download before, we added that cost back to the academy, not on you, where now after the academy, you can actually download the lessons. Okay? You can download and have them for your own person on your device, on your computers, so that you can always go back and reference the information that was taught, because sometimes in a lesson, you can't get everything. Sometimes I look back at a lesson and be like, man, I forgot I said that. And and now a new understanding comes because this is coming through the Spirit. So you'll be able to go back, review it, and all that. Okay. Now, last but not least, it's only $75. You pay for the first month and $75 for the second month, which covers the full 3-month program. Okay. 90 days of information. I'm talking about 3 months, of information you cannot find anywhere that would take a lifetime to research what we're going to put before you within 3 months. Believe me. All right. Thank you, Tiffany. She says the classes are getting better and better. All praises be to the Most High. Last but not least, keep in mind, brothers and sisters, that if you enroll in the academy, historytimes.org, that's where you go. Okay. Even if you enroll afterwards, don't worry about it. Some people can't get in by Sunday. We'll make it retroactive so that if you get in during while the academy's going, you'll still get the lessons that were missed. I'll tell you, we covered everything, right? So, what are we going into today on Patreon? Again, go to historytimes.org. You don't want to miss it. There's nothing like this Hebrew and Bible Academy in the earth, guaranteed. All right. Now, what are we going into today? One might ask. All right. Well, today, since we are moving into the Academy week for Sunday, May 22nd, right? Hold on. Let me go here. All right. One second here. Since we are going into the academy, May 22nd, I thought that I would cover, let me pull this up. I thought that we would take this Patreon for the first time to do what sometimes we do in the Hebrew and Bible Academy and just deal with random questions and answers. A question session with the elders we'll do on Patreon today in a couple of minutes. In 7 minutes, I'm going to segue over to Patreon, where brothers and sisters can call in 515-605-9327, share into the content we'll be talking about, okay? And call in to ask questions, any questions, and answer concerning scriptures or anything else that you might have wanted to understand. Not that we know anything, but I will answer to the best of our ability. All praises be to the Most High. And yeah, because I'm sure out there's a lot of different doctrines, a lot of different understandings out there. So what we're going to do is give brothers and sisters a window, a peek into how we deal with sometimes in the academy when there's time, where when there's a specific lesson, we end it with a question and answer session, usually on the topic. Well, this is open board, right? A lot of you are out there. You have different questions, doctrines, otherwise. And so we're going to take 30 minutes today on our Patreon to talk to you. All right. If you have any questions concerning the church, as far as the doctrine goes, information concerning the Bible, whatever the case is, here's your opportunity today on Patreon to ask the elders. Hence the reason why a lot of people come into the academy is because, the interact is very interactive. The comment sections sometimes be off the chains. People interact with each other similar to YouTube here. Respectfully, right? Off the chains respectfully, people build in our chat and all that. So it's similar to YouTube, but the chats are real nice there. And it's more personal, and we grow together. One Lord, one faith, one baptism. Okay. So today on Patreon, I'm going to have a little quasi academy impromptu with a question and answer session. Okay. Now, before we go into that, I'm going to discuss this particular article that a lot of you don't even understand right now. And guess what, folks? This is data. Folks, these are mainstream articles here. And I'm going to talk about that. Mainstream articles. All right. Community. Prepare for arrival. Tech pioneer warns of alien invasion. Tech pioneer warns of alien invasion. Folks, we wrestle not with flesh and blood. Let me tell you, folks, what they have prepped people's bodies for the last 2 years, that's right, it's to connect spiritually with the unseen. It's not aliens, it's fallen spirits. When you look at the word alien, it comes from the Hebrew word aliyah, like Allah, God or gods, Elohim. Okay? Prepare for the arrival. Tech pioneer warns of alien invasion. Now, why does the tech pioneer know about aliens and all these things? Because it was they who gave man their technology. Okay? God gave the technology to man so that man can be revered to others, the people in the earth, as a quasi sort of God. So yeah, I even got proof that Steve Jobs, that's right, the information on how the cell phone was created. Steve Jobs didn't come up with that idea. He went into a cave in India. I have proof of this. And contacted an old spirit who told him, that's right, the next revolutionary scenario that would change the world and how to bring everyone under a beast system. That's right. Steve Jobs was a sorcerer. Okay. But it's all coming to full fruition now. So they're just priming the pump, priming people, and let you know the stuff that's in people are to connect them to something. But in order to do that, they had to first chemically disconnect people cognitively from our God, using some of the stuff that we've seen pushed over the earth for the last couple of years under the cold. And I'll leave it there. Prepare for arrival. Tech pioneer warns of alien invasion. Right? Let's read it. Let's read it here. An alien species is headed for planet Earth, and we have no reason to believe it will be friendly. Some experts predict it will get here within 30 years. Now, we know what the real alien invasion they're talking about, but what are they preparing us for? What aren't they telling us? Why are they really on the outside of the earth, though they set their nest among the stars? Nobody knows what it will look like, but it will share two key traits with us humans. It will be intelligent and self-aware. Folks, what they're talking about coming is already here. What they're talking about coming to earth, folks, was here before Adam. They're using these technologies and these propagandized sites and Steve Jobs and all that, and the movies, media, to actually do what? Bring us into the acceptance of what have always ruled the earth before they bring it from behind the curtain. Before they bring it up from behind the curtain. And they prime all of the majority of the earth to connect with it, with the scare you've seen with the last couple of years. And I'll leave it there. That's all I can say right here. That's all I can say right here, right now. But I can say more on Patreon. Okay? So, I thank you all. I hope to see you all in the Hebrew Bible Academy this coming Sunday. Before that, we'll have a small class for you. No fear. Prepare is our lesson tomorrow for the Sabbath. All right. So they're waiting on us for our Q&A session over on Patreon. And keep in mind, folks, and I'm going to put this out there before I segue over. We wrestle not with flesh and blood. Satan is real. The angels who fell with him are real. They were revered as gods. Okay? These are the so-called entities that gave Nimrod and his scientists, his architects, the science to build the Tower of Babel. Okay? All the cities and constructs you see, even some of the cities that we live in and learn to enjoy as home, are ancient Babylonian constructs given to our so-called leaders by the unseen. And the only way to rival these entities the Bible. Following God's law. Getting on code with God's law in the Spirit of Christ puts what? An invisible hedge over you that you cannot see. Every person who follows this has a guardian protector sent by Christ, ministering spirits to rival the unseen that are seeking to destroy us all here on earth. This might sound sci-fi. It might sound like something out of an old epic Lord of the Rings movie. But at the end of the day, folks, I'm going to tell you, it's all about the children of Israel, the poor, the weak, the people who are oppressed, who will one day become, that's right, those who can stand spiritually and otherwise to rival and defeat the evil on this earth. And they know it. They know it. We're not just regular people, folks, and they know it. We excel in anything we put our minds to because we are a special people that the other people siphon off of, leech off of, steal from. That's right, folks. I'm going to tell you, we need to get under God's law, follow his protection, and guess what? And by doing so, following this Bible, that's why they do everything to try to get us out of it. Follow this Bible. Treat each other like Christ would treat us, and be hedged so that the Most High can use us in this epic battle. And folks, at the end of the day, according to these prophecies in the Bible, our God, we win. We win. I don't believe this, folks. I know this. With that, I'm going to say, Shalom, may the Most High be with you. Stay prayed up, sin not. We will soon see Zion. And brothers and sisters, I hope to see you in this week's May 22nd, 9 in the morning, starting this Sunday, the first week of our Hebrew and Bible Academy. Shalom and have a great Sabbath. And let's do that Q&A. I think that's going to be a little fun today. Let's do our Q&A. Ask the elders on Patreon. Shalom. The Bible. Is it hard to understand? One moment. I'll see you all in the academy. Over on Patreon, brothers and sisters. Shalom. The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that he used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy. You're invited.